Hi, guys. Welcome to Own Your Essence, the podcast where healing meets empowerment. I'm your host, April DeMille, a psychic medium and a life coach specializing in grief, trauma, and toxic relationship recovery. This is a space for deep conversations, powerful transformations, and raw healing. Each week, we'll dive into soul centered topics like psychic mediumship, the supernatural, metaphysical wisdom, emotional grief, addiction, mental health, spiritual wellness, and self discovery. Through inspiring interviews and personal insights, this podcast is here to spread awareness, spark connection, and support your healing journey. If you're ready to set boundaries, reclaim your confidence, and step into your true power, you're in the right place. Let's own your essence together. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Own Your Essence podcast, where we get to have deep transformational conversations with some of our favorite people. I'm your host, April DeMille, and I am very excited about this episode because we're going to do something a little different today. But our guest today her name is Pamelah Landers. She is an expert master hand analysis, an intuitive author, and artist. So this is going to be fun. Okay, so I just read your little introduction to the audience, and I just kind of tend to jump right in. So thank you, Pamelah, for being with us today.
My
I'm
pleasure.
very excited because we're doing something very different today. So we'll get to that here in a minute. But I actually want to know like how you even stumbled into the world of hand analysis.
Well, I did astrology for like right out of college, and I was really interested in astrology, and I did that for a really long time and looked at other metaphysical systems and while I was working in the corporate world. And then in 1991, I connected with my teacher, Richard, through another woman that had been one of his students, had read my hands like 3 months earlier.
Okay.
And it was okay. I wasn't all that fascinated by it, but I remembered. And then he was speaking at a spiritual networking group that I was in that met on Thursday mornings. And the guy who had invited him had talked about him a couple weeks before that and stuff. So I was there. And while he's talking, my guides are saying to me, "You need to learn how to read hands." I'm going, "What? You need to learn how to read hands." Okay. So I went up to Richard after the meeting and said, "I need to learn how to read hands." And he gave me his card and we talked for an hour the next day. And 2 weeks later, I was hosting the introductory class in my living room.
Wow. So it just like I love when things are like when it lines up so easily because it's just like your purpose, so it just goes so smoothly. That's so cool.
And I learned, of course, later that I've had multiple lifetimes of reading hands. So it was
That's not
easy for me to
shocking.
learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the wisdom's like already like stamped on your DNA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, what I guess what kind of made that switch for you where you were like, okay, now I've learned this and I've decided this is my life's work.
I had left the corporate world and was working at home by myself, and I did not realize how hard that is after being around people for 20 years
Oh, yeah, that's such a
every
big
day.
transition.
It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And, the whole marketing thing, I was in marketing in the corporate world, especially at Hewlett Packard, so I knew some things about marketing, but it wasn't going well. And I was really bored being by myself. So I just felt like I needed to do something that was more fun and interesting. And it took I didn't immediately jump into this as my career. I was still doing other things while I was learning because there was a year-long program that I had to learn the basics.
Yeah.
But during that year long, I was reading at a lot of psychic fairs. There used to be a lot of psychic fairs in the 90s locally,
Yeah.
like
I feel like there's not as much anymore for
no,
sure.
there isn't.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to set them up and they're expensive but there were a lot of them. And so I just went to a lot of psychic fairs. Some of the other people in my class and I created this team and, depending on who lived in what town. And I was driving from San Jose to Marin County to take classes. And so there were people coming in from Sacramento and other parts of the Bay Area to do these classes. And so depending on where the psychic fair was, we would go as a team. There'd be four of us, three or four of us. And so I practiced reading hands a lot, which made it much easier to feel confident about my skill set because I was practicing, which not everybody does when they're learning a new skill
Yeah.
on real
I
people.
Yeah, practice is absolutely essential because you have to, I mean, even on the intuitive side, you still have to like learn your reference system and I mean, there's a lot to take into
Yeah.
consideration for that. Yeah.
And it's a whole new database of information, right? So
Yeah.
I talked about things that I could feel confident about doing and and we were every month learning new stuff. So I did the psychic fairs for about 3 years, and that was really a helpful process for me to get really established in this. And then I started, sometimes I'd have clients come from those psychic fairs and sometimes not.
Yeah.
It took about 4 years, and then I started teaching classes in my
Okay.
living room. I have a big living room. I did. I mean, I don't live there anymore, but I had a big living room, so it was easy to teach classes. And that was when I really felt more established in it, was teaching classes.
But you're not teaching classes now.
I do online.
Oh, okay. 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 I'm gonna have to ask about that later.
I actually did. There's a place here locally that I actually taught a Heartlines class recently, two Heartlines classes, one that was an introduction and then one that was a 4-hour class where we were delving deeply into the Heartlines. It could take a whole weekend to focus on Heartlines. So,
So I'm gonna ask you, I assume you've heard of toe reading at this point.
well, I haven't heard of toe reading, but when I was doing psychic fairs, there was one woman who would go to some of them who read my feet.
Yes. So I'm
Yeah.
asking because when I was in school, I actually took a course in toe reading. Never even heard of it before. Didn't even know it was a fucking thing. I'm like, this is a thing. Who wants to look at people's feet and read those? But
Right.
whatever. I just entertained the thing and was like, all right, whatever. I'll just see what happens. I was surprisingly caught off guard by how accurate even
Hmm.
that information was. And so I am certified in it. Like I took the course and all the things, never touched it again. Like I
Okay.
learned the basics, have that in my toolbox, all the things. I know one other lady that went to the same school that actually does still do toe readings and but definitely never um really tapped back into that. But I would love to learn more about hands. I think that that's really
It's
neat.
fascinating.
Yeah,
It's
there's so
fascinating.
much there to unpack for sure.
And the thing I just want to say, I discovered through all these years of learning this different astrology and numerology and hands, and that, the Enneagram came along at one point, and then human
Hmm.
design showed up. Um, and I met someone who reads faces while I was in my
I've
year
heard
long.
that. I didn't know that
Yeah,
was a thing either until
yeah.
recently. That's interesting
There's a
too.
guy who took the class
Yeah.
because he was a face reader and he wanted to see how it mapped
Oh,
to
with
hands,
hands.
right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
So
Yeah.
what I learned is that your body is a soul map, which is why no two people look
Hmm.
exactly the same, and the pattern repeats itself everywhere.
Hmm.
And so depending on the skill set of the reader and how well they know the information they're reading,
Yeah.
they should map it, all of these maps should cross over in different language because you're the same person. And
Hmm.
it's your soul that's, here that's the people are reading. And so the toe information probably maps over to hands because each part
Yeah.
of the body is a microcosm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they definitely all overlap somewhere. We're all connected in all the ways, so it makes sense. Um, so have you had any like major favorite transformation stories from this happening? I'm sure you've had a
Well,
lot, but have you had like a couple that like were your favorites?
I was going to say, I've read thousands and thousands of hands, so there are
Yeah,
lots of transformation stories. There are
yeah.
thousands of transformation stories because pretty much I would say for the last 20 years, I've been doing this for 34 years. So for the last 20 years, I would say pretty much every time I read somebody's hands, there's a transformation because
Yeah,
and it's here's what the transformation is. It's not that big a deal. And in terms of transformation, right? What it is I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know.
for sure.
And so I'm giving you language that maybe you haven't had before. I'm connecting dots that haven't been connected. The biggest thing I hear from my clients for years has been what a relief and permission to be true to their design. So it's not, there aren't these big revelations like that
Mm,
kind of, but it's the permission to live your design. That's the transformation
yeah,
instead of living somebody else's vision or
right,
desire for your design.
right. Yeah, for sure. The just the permission to be seen and develop at whatever rate you need to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
it's
makes
already
sense.
there. I'm going to just say, because we're not going to be talking about your fingerprints because I couldn't see them and it's too
Oh, yeah,
complex.
I was
It's
going to say
okay.
I definitely wanted to talk about the importance of the fingerprint
I'll
stuff.
just give you this information. So the thing about hand analysis that is different, well, two ways that it's different than palmistry. I don't do predictive readings, but
Ah, got it.
the fingerprints are formed 16 to 20 weeks after conception. So
Okay.
4 to 5 months before you're born, your fingerprints are already formed, and they're formed before some other parts of the body get formed. And they never change. So your fingerprints are soul agreements. Other
Okay.
parts of the hand can change. Everything
Right.
else in the hand shape and the line formations and the relationship between the lines can change. The fingerprints never do. So that's life purpose.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like the hard stamp of approval. Like this
Yes.
is okay, got it.
Yeah, and
That's
because they don't change, it's sacred information, right? But here it is in your fingertips and other places in your body that I don't know how to read is your life purpose and your life lesson, the most defined soul agreements about why you're here in this journey.
so you just did mention though the different that there's no predictive stuff. So like you're doing something different than like a predictive like palmistry.
Yeah.
Is that what I understand? So it's different.
Yeah. So what I'm
Okay.
doing when I look at your hands is I'm looking at how, and we're going to look at your hands to make this real. So
Yes,
just to let
I
people
was gonna
know.
say I haven't even said that yet. So
Yes.
we have a big surprise for you
Yay.
guys. She's gonna look at my hands and this is gonna be fun. So yes.
I'm identifying motivations, behaviors, personality traits, and then with the fingerprints, the soul agreements.
Okay.
And so,
Dang it, I wish I had a way to get you my
well,
fingerprints.
you will. I mean,
Yeah.
but I even if you had, I wouldn't have gone into it today because
Yeah.
it's too sacred to that's my experience. It really needs to be a one-on-one
Oh, it's a little more
conversation.
private, like intimate kind of
Yeah.
stuff that okay. Yeah, gotcha.
But there are heart lines, which is how you express yourself emotionally, your headline, which is how you think and process information and make choices mentally. There's
Okay.
your fate line about how you do tasks and how you relate to tasks
Okay.
and then there are other lines that everybody has those, and there are other lines that some people have and some don't. So I'm looking to see what's the pattern. I'm a
Have
pattern
you
recognition.
ever noticed that like certain certain healers or soul designs or mystics have specific markings in their hands or anything else that stands out different?
I haven't correlated that information, but I do know who shows up in my life for
Okay,
me to read because not all hand analysts read for the same people
gotcha. Okay.
because they each have their own designs and they're going to attract people, as you probably know if you've ever talked with a healer or two. You attract people who have things you need to hear yourself, you need to say to yourself.
Yeah,
So
we're all mirrors for each other, so absolutely.
yes.
Hmm.
So I attract a lot of people who have gift markings, which are line formations about extra potential talent. They're rare. They only show up about 10% of the time, but almost all of my clients have at least one, and a
Okay.
lot of them have many. Because I've got a bunch of them and I need to talk about them
Yeah, that makes
all the
sense.
time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I
Um,
have artist markings and I need to talk about being an artist. So I track
yeah,
artist people and I track leaders because I have a lot of leadership markings. So
yeah. That makes sense. I mean, it sounds like familiar in my world too, so I get that. But you have a book too.
I've
Um,
written 17 books. Yeah.
wow, oh, you have several books. Oh, my
Yeah.
mistake. Wow, okay. I will have those links posted, I think, in the show notes.
Yeah.
But
The store on my website has audios, books, and then some free stuff.
nice. And then do you have art on there too?
I don't have my art on my website because the website is forehand analysis. But yeah, I'm
Right.
also an artist and I also sell
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to bring that up too, because you do a
I make
lot.
those.
Hands are a thing for you because you're making art with your hands and you're
Yes,
reading hands and all kinds of stuff. Do you still do the astrology work?
I don't.
Okay.
I like the tangibility of hands. Astrology is mental
Okay.
and it's much harder to have things make sense, but in hands, we'll see when I look at yours. Oh, see the shape of this line and where it goes and where
Yeah.
it ends up. It stays more with people. It's
Yeah.
more tangible.
So when you were doing astrology, I assume you were practicing tropical Western?
Yeah, Western astrology, yeah.
Oh,
And I
okay.
read hands when I was working at HP. I read hands at lunchtime with
Oh, good for you. Like you were just
people.
knocking it out wherever you could.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it was fun.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to add to this before we look at my hands or
I just want to say that a lot of people I've heard people be afraid of wanting to have their hands read because they don't want to know. Some
Mhm.
because they think it's predictive, but also some people don't want to know what their life purpose is because they're afraid that they're not going to do it or they're not doing it. So what I want to say is I know from reading thousands and thousands of hands and talking with thousands of people, you cannot not be doing your life purpose at some level.
Mhm.
So that's not
Mhm.
a reason to not have your hands read, is because you're afraid of knowing about your life purpose. You're doing it. The
I
question
was gonna say, I feel like people
is
are
it
doing
nuts?
it even though they don't know they're doing it.
Yeah, and they don't have a language for it for the most part,
Yeah.
which is what I provide. And some people have very complex life purposes, and some people have much simpler life purposes, and they're all over the map. And there are no
Yeah,
two hands that look exactly the same. If you look at your hands left to right, they're not exactly the same.
they're definitely not. And
Yeah.
honestly, my shit's so complex, my life purpose, it's just that's fun. I'm curious to see how it shows up in my hands for sure. Um, I would agree with that though. Like I think that it's it's not it's not something to be afraid of. It's more I feel like it's something that it's just helpful to embrace it because you're already doing it. Like you're already living your purpose, like without
Exactly.
even realizing it most of the time. So,
Yeah, and you don't have, it's really the language is what makes a big difference, is being able to articulate, oh, this is my life purpose. My
yeah.
life purpose is to be an innovator, intuitive mentor
Yeah.
based on my hand markings, right? That's my life purpose. Okay.
You're like, well, I'm doing that.
Well, yeah, and it gives me permission to be as innovative as I want and make stuff up all the time, which I do.
Which
All
is great. Like you
Yeah,
get to
but I'm
create.
designed for that. And if I weren't doing that, I would suffer.
That's true. Like you would have a very unhappy existence if you were not already like leaned so hard into that.
Yeah, which was a little challenging in the corporate world.
Oh
Some,
yeah, I'm sure it was.
yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people like us anyway, like entrepreneurs and healers, we all have some sort of experience a lot of times with corporate world and learn it is definitely not for us. Like we're just not wired that way.
yeah,
Yeah, I had
yeah,
those experiences too. There was a time that I moved in those worlds as well as a lot in the medical field, but yeah, that was not my cup of tea.
yeah. I loved it that I did it for 20 years and I learned a lot about systems, which was very important when I started my own business. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I this didn't really happen with corporate. Well, I guess it did some, but I did a lot of customer service, and in the medical field, you have to be very compassionate in what you do. And so there was a lot of things that definitely helped with the way I show up and put myself out there now.
Yeah. Everything's part of the learning process, right?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the little pieces fit. They do come together.
they do.
They absolutely do. Okay. So, do you have anything else that you would like to go
Well, I think
over?
if we delve into looking at your hands, the other stuff will just make itself known and
Okay. Yep. All
do that.
yours. We can do that.
I'm going to share the screen
Oh, we're sharing the screen.
because I have pictures
Hmm.
of April's hands and I wanted to draw some things on here. So I'm going to zoom
With
in a
my,
little bit.
I was eating at the time, so I've got my food in the background. That's hilarious.
Well,
I know
nobody
you don't.
cares.
Nobody cares. I'm looking at, I'm just like, there's my salt shaker.
Yes. So I am going to annotate.
I
So,
tried to even like bend my hand back to make those lines pop out a little
yeah,
bit more. So
which is great.
I was hoping that helped.
It's great for seeing the lines in the hand. It's really hard to see the fingerprints.
Yeah.
So this is a heart line.
Okay.
So it's the line that's closest to the fingers, and it starts underneath the pinky and it goes across the hand, and where it ends
Okay.
determines the heart line type. I'm just going to
Okay.
explain these three major lines, four major lines. This is the headline. It starts by the thumb side of the hand and can go all the way across or part way or whatever. Everybody's hands are different.
Okay.
And then this is the lifeline, which is the one that wraps around the thumb. And these are the three major lines that everybody has. So, and the lifeline either starts the same line as the headline or it starts as an independent line. Yours starts as the same line.
Okay.
So those are the three major lines, and hopefully if anybody's listening, they can figure this out. Um, oh yeah, they changed. Zoom changed how they're doing stuff. So, I am going to, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to stop annotating. There we go. And I'm going to move down a little bit. So we're going to be talking about April's heart lines. And so I'm just going to show you her other hand because she has a different heartline thing going on, which is very common, by the way. Most people have 2/3 of the population, when I did a survey, have a different heartline type on their left hand than their right hand.
Okay.
And you have three heartline types over here.
Huh. Okay.
So see where it splits here?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's
So
like a
the part
star.
that coming up to here is the hermit.
Okay.
This is romantic.
I can definitely own that.
Yeah, you have that in the other hand. This is the romantic idealist, and this is the big heart.
Okay.
There are four heartline types, and you have three.
Okay. That's interesting.
So that means that you have three different emotional styles of how you express your feelings
Uh-huh. Okay.
and how you want to have people express feelings to you if you had your choice.
So I can bounce between the three based on like what's,
You do bounce between the
yeah, that's what
three.
I'm saying. I can bounce between the three based on what's happening and what's needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the romantic idealist is really strong, and the romantic idealist means that it's straight. All the heart lines start under the pinky, and this one's straight, and it goes all the way over to the index finger, which is called Jupiter in hand analysis.
Okay.
And the hermit heart line is also straight, but it stops underneath the middle finger, which is called Saturn.
Okay.
Okay. So the straight heart lines, the hermit and the romantic idealist, and I have romantic idealist on both hands. are cautious and reserved about sharing how they feel.
About, wait, for the
How
hermit?
they feel.
Okay.
Cautious and reserved about sharing how they feel.
Okay.
The big heart needs to express feelings.
Mhm.
So, and this might also be an ambitious fate line, and it looks like it's kind of serving both purposes.
Okay.
This line that it's going up above here. So we're going to talk first about the hermit, which is on your other hand. Your right hand has a hermit, and your left hand has a romantic idealist.
Okay.
So they both are cautious and reserved, which means, so what happens with the hermit's perspective is they're very self-protective and they don't want to share their feelings with people they don't trust because it might get used against them.
Okay.
That's the cautious and reserved part.
Okay.
So they tend not to be really open and sharing how they feel as an initiated conversation
Mhm.
unless they're angry
Or asked.
or asked. But
Yeah.
at the end, this is the initiation part that
Right.
they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
usually, they don't see any reason to initiate conversation about how they feel, not what you're
Right.
thinking, but how you feel.
Okay.
And the romantic idealist is super focused because it goes all the way over to the index finger, is very focused on other people's emotional states and taking care of other people emotionally before they take care of their own emotional needs.
Mhm.
And so their caution and reserve comes from seeing what's going on in the environment and what's happening with somebody else before initiating a conversation about how you feel, unless it's somebody you have a really close relationship with. So does any of this feel true for you?
I would say it felt true for me at a time. I would say I've, I feel like I'm transitioning through some of that.
Okay.
In the last few years, I feel like it's kind of I'm going to say some of it's transmuting. Maybe that's the best way for me to explain it.
So what
Like,
does that look like?
well, I feel like, I definitely tend to be more reserved. Um, and not really, well, I don't know. I feel like I tend to be pretty reserved most of the time, but I'm also super open and happy to talk about whatever and including my feelings. I don't really hold back about that very much like I used to. I used to hold back a lot more. Now I don't. So I guess
Okay.
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Great. So there's a maturity.
Right. So I think it just came with like there was a shift. Some of that was transmuted, some of that healing happened, and then, a little more wisdom came with it.
Yes, which is great.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that that was definitely true, until that shift started happening.
Yes. So, yeah. So, and it may depend on who you're talking with and the topic of conversation.
Totally,
Yeah.
100%. Now I would say that I still am not, uh, I still am very, selective about who I bring that close to me.
Yes. You need to be.
That, yeah, right. And I do practice that self-care, um, for sure. Like I have my favorites.
Well, and you should, and I'll tell you why is the hermit, and I think this is actually not a big heart. I think this is actually an ambitious fate line.
Okay.
Um, so you really have the hermit. Well, I don't know. I'm not.
Is it hard to tell?
I would need better digital photos to tell for sure. But the
Okay.
reason I'm saying that is because this usually the big heart curves and goes like this.
Okay.
But what's happening is this is going this
It's
way, which is more
split.
how the ambitious fate line looks. So
Well, what if you read both and I tell you which one fits my personality better? Can you do that?
okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say one more thing about the hermit heart line based on what you just said.
Okay.
And since you have a really clear hermit on the other hand, and you have hermit energy on this one, hermit's biggest challenge is who to trust. and
For
what to
sure.
trust with
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah. It's definitely being selective.
Yeah, so you're designed to be selective. It's in your design, and you need to be that way to be true to your design.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And so I just say sometimes I see hermits get on their soapbox and when they're really pissed off about something and they don't really care who's around, but that's only when they have something to say about when somebody's out of integrity. Integrity is very big for hermits.
100%, because I like to think that I live in as much integrity as possible. And I
Yes,
don't want people around me that are close to me and interacting with my energy if they're not practicing the same respect in their own lives. Yeah.
exactly. That
Yeah.
would be totally a hermit thing.
Yeah. And I have been known to pop off at the mouth and blast off in anger. I wouldn't say I'm really so much that person as much now.
Hmm.
I tend to be a lot more graceful in my approach, but I still do have that fiery nature. It's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens. I mean, this is hermits are driven by safety and security. And if something is threatening your safety and security, lashing out about it is not all uncommon for hermits. I mean, they're
Yeah.
quiet up to a point, but then
They're
it's like,
quiet, but we can all only take so much, and then you're gonna
yes,
get then the swords are coming at you. Like,
exactly.
yeah, so yeah, for sure.
That's exactly. The first time I saw this was watching Gary Cooper in a black and white movie. And like I said, I've been doing this for 34 years. So in the 90s, I saw Gary Cooper, who had been hardly talking at all during the whole movie and going, oh, he's a hermit. And then he just has this rant and I'm going, oh my God, that's so amazing.
He's actually a hermit. He showed you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe people don't even know who Gary Cooper is. He's an actor. All
Yeah, I
right.
didn't
So
know. So,
yeah, he's an actor who, made a lot of black and white movies. That's how long ago it was. All right. So this looks like Fate Line, but I would need to see a better photo of your hands in order to verify that. So, if this is an ambitious Fate Line, the purpose of the Fate Line is tasks over time, how you approach doing tasks.
okay.
Normally, this line goes up to the middle finger, to Saturn.
Okay.
That's its, normal thing. But when it bends and goes over to the index finger, which is what it looks like doing, and I have this on my hand.
Okay.
Then you get ambitious. You have drive and ambition around task orientation and accomplish a lot and need to accomplish a lot and have a lot of drive about getting things done.
Yep. That sounds
And that
fairly.
also there are other ways that can also show up, and one of them is in fingerprints. But if this is in fact an ambitious fate line, then that would be part of your design is to feel very ambitious and driven more than 98% of the population, because I only see this about 2% of the time.
So, can I ask you a question about
Yes,
that? That seems to resonate, but I also want to add, I guess the question what was I going to ask? It was something you just said. Um,
it'll come back.
I hope so, because I was going to say that I think it was somewhere along the lines of I have this massive drive to create and do and all the things. I have like this massive source of energy that definitely needs to be directed. And I feel like if I'm not doing that, I get really fucking cranky.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I get really
This would be
cranky.
a good thing to know from a fingerprint perspective. So, um, I don't know what other lines down here are part of your fate lines, and these are really light lines in between your headline and your heart line. So I'm not sure that this is true, but with better photos, I will be able to confirm if that's true or not.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. And when we do your fingerprints, it would, that'll be a big important piece of all of this because the fingerprints also, if you have on your index fingers marked as life purpose or life lesson, then those are going to be also drive and ambition and power.
Oh, okay. So it will help confirm.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is because of the way it curves.
Hmm.
Just that's what I'm saying. So
Okay. I
anyway,
mean, it sounds like it would fit to
yeah,
my characteristics, I guess.
yeah. If it's a big heart, you're just going to be, there's more focus on other people and emotional focus on other people and needing to be a full-time nurturer and caretaker of other people, putting
So
their emotional needs before yours.
I feel like that's both then
Okay.
because I can own that one too. I wouldn't say I put everybody before me now though. 100% that was a lesson that had to be learned on self-care and boundaries and all the things. But as far as the way I show up in the world, whether it was motherhood, caring for others, I'm a nanny now. I'm a full-time nanny now. And
Okay.
then even when I'm putting myself out there as a psychic medium and a life coach and helping people really unpack, traumas and grief. So yes, I could embody that for sure. I wouldn't say I'm in that place where I put everybody before me anymore, though. It's a lot more balanced. And I've realized I can't give from an empty cup. So,
Right.
yeah.
And that would also be the hermit's voice because hermits need a lot of alone time.
Oh my God, girl. You are talking my tune for sure. Like I am Mr. Recharge.
Yeah.
I can only do what I can do. And then once I shut down, fucking leave me alone. I'm
Yeah.
shut down. Like
Exactly.
I am plugging in and into a different, outlet. And I need that recharge time for sure.
Totally. And yeah, the hermit just needs a ton of time alone.
Yeah, because I have to recharge to do it all again.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And hermits show love by doing things versus being verbal, whereas the big heart is way more verbal and like, oh, I just love you. You're so beautiful. You're, blah, blah, blah. And the romantic idealist is cautious
hmm
about all of that. They'll do stuff like that, but they're careful who they do it with.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty verbal.
Okay.
Um, but I do still like to also do things for people. Um, I think I can kind of flip-flop between those two sometimes. And maybe that's
Yeah,
why you
yeah,
talk about, it showing up in different ways for me. I think I definitely flip-flop with whoever needs what and however I'm able to give it at the time. So
yeah, exactly. Because we know for sure you have a romantic idealist and a hermit, which are
yeah,
one's focused on other people and one isn't.
yeah, yeah.
One's
So I'm
self-oriented, one's focused on other people's needs first. So
yeah, I love that. That's so great.
yeah.
Well, at least we know I'm versatile.
You what?
I said, at least we know I'm versatile.
Yeah. Well, you are designed for that for sure. And people who have the same heartline type on both hands don't have as much emotional flexibility.
Really?
Yeah, well, they don't. They're whatever if they have the same heartline type, they're that heartline type on both hands.
Yeah. So they
So
just, yeah. Well, good thing I'm flexible, guys.
I know. Well, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if you weren't flexible. So let's just, it's based on your design. If you're following your design, you're doing what organically happens, what feels organically right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I'm aware of. So I'm going to switch topics and I'm going to talk about your high set Jupiter.
Ooh, Jupiter. I love my Jupiter.
And I'm going to draw this also on the other hand before I talk about it. But the Jupiter's the index finger as a reminder. And what we're looking is to see, in this case, where it meets the palm compared to the middle finger, the Saturn finger. And it meets the palm in the same place, which makes it higher set. Because normally, see how the ring finger, the Apollo finger in your hand is lower set? It meets the palm lower than the Saturn finger does. Can you see what I'm talking about? No?
Oh, I'm sorry. My microphone
Yeah,
was muted. Yeah. No, I can see it. Sorry. Um,
okay.
you
I'm
couldn't
sure
hear me,
this.
could you?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
Let's
shaking my
go
head.
on.
I was shaking my head, but my mic was off. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see it.
Okay. So I'm going to look at your other hand because it's even more that way.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yes, I do see that.
So this is called a high set Jupiter because where it's meeting the palm, it's even higher set than where Saturn is on this hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And normally it would be down the same as the Apollo. So what this means is that you have a, and I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, but we'll come back. You have a high need to be respected,
Okay. Yeah.
and it has to start with self-respect.
Totally. 100%.
So where you are self-respecting, it's easy for you to receive respect from other people. Where
Hmm.
you are not self-respecting, it just feels like a foreign language when somebody respects you in that area.
Totally.
So getting conscious of where you are not self-respecting is where the changes can happen.
Yeah. The changes that we don't really want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll give you
So
an example out of
been
my life.
down
And
that road.
yes, I'm sure many times.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example from my life so
Okay.
that you can give me an example from yours. So I also
Okay.
have high set Jupiter fingers on both hands.
Okay.
So I am super self-respecting about being a hand analyst and an intuitive.
Okay.
Like if someone makes negative comments to me about it or they don't get it, I completely can realize that has nothing to do with me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm so self-respecting
Mm-hmm. Yep.
in those areas. And confidence is another word that goes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone came over and saw the dust on one of my tables, because I hate housework and I don't do it all the time, I do it enough, but I don't do it all the time. And if someone came over and commented on seeing something in my housework process that wasn't up to their standards, I could take that personally and feel like they were disrespecting me, and I could feel really bad about myself
Yeah. Okay.
because I'm not self-respecting about housework.
Okay.
Now, I
Hmm.
can change my mind and respect my process, which I have done over time. I've learned how to respect the fact that housework bores me and I'd much rather be doing other things and I do it when I need to do it. But I'm not as good at it as my friends who are OCD about housework.
I was just about to say I'm OCD. So like my
Yeah.
house is usually, except for my floors. I can let my floors and baseboards go and that's about it. Everything else is like in its place, clean, all put away, organized. I am the freak.
So where are you self-respecting that nobody can knock you off?
I don't know, because I'm not going to say nobody could ever knock me off of anything. I feel like that's part of um, my openness to always self-improvement, you know? So, and I try to at least always be open to that. So I'm not sure nobody could knock me off of anything, but I would say that I've been through very similar um situations as you with your hand analysis. I'm a psychic medium and I've been called satanic and demonic and all the things and I'm like, "Hey dude, whatever you got to tell yourself. Like have fun with that. I don't really care."
Right.
Like I'm like, "Whatever works for you, buddy. I got your back. Like you good. We don't it doesn't have to be a thing." So I mean that's the first example that I think that comes to mind
Yeah.
for me is to each their own. You get to feel however you want, and I'm good with that. So, um,
Which is
I
great to know, to name, oh, this is a place where I'm really self-respecting.
yeah, I think another thing that really lines up for me with that is, um, I tend to have really high morals, and I think a lot of that came. Some of it came along in my soul imprint for sure. Some of it has developed through working through e- grief and the traumas and learning how to respect myself and boundaries and all those things. But with that being said, like I didn't get there easily. So I've also done some really stupid shit. And that's where the high morals came from too. Like I had to have a whole lifetime of experiences of dumb stuff, really bad choices. And, all those pieces came together to form where I am right now. But because um, am trusted by people that I work with, and I know how living in alignment feels as opposed to what it used to feel like. It's really important to me that I practice what I preach and
Yes.
that I show up in integrity in my life too. And that's the same respect I would want to see for others in their lives and how I'd want to be treated. So that's another place where I feel like um, that could pertain.
Yeah. And that makes complete sense. And I'm just going to bring in the hermit again because hermits value integrity a lot, loyalty,
Yeah.
big important thing, commitments, sacred
All
for
of that.
hermits. So all of those. So your standards are going
Hmm.
to be very related to the hermit piece
Hmm.
because it makes you feel safe and secure. So you and you your favorite thing is when people understand your definitions
Yeah.
of integrity and commitment and loyalty. And even other hermits may have different definitions of what integrity or loyalty or commitment is. But
Yeah.
when they get yours, then that's fabulous. But yes, so that makes complete sense that you would have a lot of self-respect about how you hold all those standards and the morality that you carry around all of that, because it would be really hard for you to be out of integrity.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would venture to say though that there was a time when I was making terrible decisions, whether it was, through grief and pain and whatever the reason, right? That I felt like I was being a really bad mom. And that's the kind of feedback I got.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it does line up because like I felt like there had been many times I was accused of being a terrible mother and all the things, but I was also doing stupid shit. I was
Yeah,
not living in integrity and being the best version. I couldn't mother myself, let alone my kids during that time. And so right, wrong, or indifferent, I could see the difference between that and the way it shows up in my life now.
right. And yes, of course, we all make stupid mistakes at times. We
100%.
all do.
Yeah.
And,
I,
testing boundaries and pushing edges and all of the
yeah.
stuff we do.
Oh, and I own it. Like I'm 100% own it. Like I'm just
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I definitely did drugs. I totally did wild sex all the time. Like I
yeah,
lived wild and crazy and did a lot of dumb
right,
shit. And so I'm like, yeah, I did that. And I don't regret it either because I don't think I'd be as awesome as I am now had I not. So I had to
right,
go through the experiencer to become the
right,
teacher. So
right.
it was part of the process.
And the thing I want to say about quote dumb shit is always judgment about from other people
Uh-huh, that are doing dumb
that
shit.
makes it a problem. Because maybe your soul needed to go through that for your
For sure.
own soul's advancement, and it wasn't dumb shit to your soul. It's only in human form and other people's judgment that made it a problem.
Right. And I think that that is one of the most valuable things that anyone could ever hear because it's the only way that we can replace judgment with acceptance.
Yeah,
Because, society teaches us, oh, it should look like this, but nobody gets to tell us what any of our soul designs look like. They're
that's right.
designed particular for particular missions,
Right.
and we're hitting targets. We're marking targets here. And you have to definitely develop in a way that no one's ever going to understand. And having that understanding and that acceptance it's so valuable.
It is. I mean, I've had sex with a lot of men, and I know there's a ton of judgment around it with some people, but I know from a soul level why that's happened
Yeah.
and how it's part of my mission. So
Hmm.
I have totally accepted it as part of my journey, but I had to go through unhooking from other people's opinions about it, and especially, religious. Not that I'm very religious, but there certainly have been a lot of religious
Oh
people
yeah.
that
I've heard it. I've heard it
have,
all, girl. I've heard
yeah.
I'm a satanic. I've heard I'm a devil. I've heard I'm the Grim Reaper. I've heard it all. And then on top of that, I was a hoe. I was out hoeing around. It was true. I totally embraced that part of my life too.
And it was part of your soul's
And it
journey.
was part of my journey. And I also did things where I went through I guess it was probably about a 2 or 4 year period where I was sticking needles in my arms. And it
Mm-hmm.
was also part of the
Right.
the journey that I had to unfold. And there was all kinds of pieces that had to go into that. So it's to me, when I get those reminders of past versions of myself, I'm not offended. I'm just like, yeah, I did that 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And look what
Um,
I learned.
and I developed and grew from it, and I'm okay with that. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
So that self-love thing comes back to
Yeah.
how do I love myself, even if I'm behaving in a way that other people don't like or don't agree with. So this is to me, one of the great values of knowing what your design is in your hands is that it's unique to you because nobody else has hands just like yours.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you have your own purpose for being here, your own mission, your own reasons. And it's really unique. I think that's one of the greatest gifts I've gotten out of reading a lot of hands is recognizing how unique everybody is and not expecting people to be like somebody else.
Yeah. I think that those expectations can be, well, they are extremely damaging.
Yes. Yes, they can be very, very damaging.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I agree completely. So yeah, we still have, there's one other thing in your hands I want to talk about, but the high set Jupiter, the high need for respect on the student path, because I talk about master path and student path, and the master path is where you're in flow and things feel good and they're moving along well, and the student path is where there's resistance or some kind of challenge that's showing up.
Okay.
And so the student path piece of the high set Jupiter can be rage, outrage, and anger,
Okay.
um, right? And hostility.
Yeah. I definitely have a
They're not
little,
respecting me. What's wrong
yeah.
with these people, right?
Yeah.
There's all,
I definitely have that fiery nature about me. So
yeah,
it has come up.
I
It has
know.
happened. I
Me
do
too.
turn into a dragon sometimes.
I call it my rants. I don't
Love it.
even give it the name of dragon. I get into my rants,
I definitely have I was there was a time that I was actually violent, which is not something anyone could accuse me of now, but like I definitely would become into the turn into the fire breathing dragon. And yeah, so it's definitely been a part of my story too.
Yeah. Well, full spectrum.
Yeah.
That's how I talk about it. You're experiencing the full spectrum of your design. The other thing I wanted to talk with you about, and I can see it easier on my screen that's up above than
I'm laughing because I think I see salt on my hand.
you see
That
what?
like I think I see salt on my hand. Do you see like the little salt pieces on my hand? I'm just cracking up because I laugh at myself. Like because I was sitting there eating when I sent you these pictures, and
Okay.
I think I see like salt on my hand. It's so
Oh,
funny.
the salt. There's a
Yeah, do you see it?
the
Yeah.
salt here. Okay.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I
Apparently I
didn't
just
know what
needed to
that was,
share.
but I'm
Yeah.
glad you clarified that it was salt.
It was just me sharing my food with you.
Yes. So, on now we're looking at your left hand again, and I'm going to talk about your headline
Okay.
because what happens is your headline
I
splits,
see that.
and then there's another piece that's coming up over here.
Yeah, and it connects to the other line.
Yeah, so it splits into three things.
Okay.
So the one that's below that kind of curves down a little bit,
Okay.
versus the one that goes up. When you have a split and your headline splits and then it goes into two pieces, one of the things that happens is that you have the capacity, and this is the thinking line, the headline's how you think and how
Okay.
you process data and information, mental stuff,
Okay.
to see things from two different sides. You can see the black and the white.
Absolutely. So easy. So easy for
Yeah.
me. Like I can always see every angle of the spectrum so easily.
Yes. And mentally, you're
Hmm.
designed to do that. And
Hmm.
so the challenging part, of course, is making a choice.
Hmm.
You can see
Yep.
both sides.
Finding
And
the balance between both sides. Oh, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and the benefit is being able to see both sides and making a more informed choice.
Yes. Hmm.
right? So it depends on which place you're in when
Hmm.
you're making the choices about, is it this the part of me that's really confused because I can see both sides and I can't narrow it down to something, or is this a part of me that's like looking at, oh, here's the benefit of this, and here's the benefit of this, here's the challenge with this, and the challenge with this, kind of like the pros and cons.
Yeah. Well, and
That's awesome.
it's a constant list between both worlds.
Yes.
And I will say that I've gotten really good. I've gotten better about making decisions because I will take the time to sit still and not make a decision on a whim or if there's pressure behind it. I do not do that anymore. I will take,
Hallelujah.
yes. So that's what solved the confusion.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's really, really helpful
Yeah.
that you're giving yourself time to do
Yeah.
that. And then we bring in the piece that comes off of your headline and it's curving up and it goes up to your pinky, the area on to your heart line, but that's related to your pinky.
Okay.
The Mercury finger, it's called in hand analysis. So it's another split, right? And there's space here. So the same thing could happen. But when it goes up to Mercury and it goes, and it looks like it goes up to the heart line of Mercury, it brings in intimacy opportunities, meaning the whole Mercury finger is all about communication.
For sure.
Mercury's the god of communication in
Yeah.
this.
And Mercury is strong in my charts anyway.
Okay.
So massive communicator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to show up in your fingerprints too. So your head, your mental capacity is drawing on your emotional heart line. It's going up and connecting with the heart line. Sometimes your choices are going to need to involve your feelings.
Okay.
Not always,
Right.
but if it's something that involves an intimate connection with somebody else, chances are your heart line is going to say, wait, 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 wait. You need to listen to me too.
Hmm.
Right? You're not just going to make a mental choice. Like a mental choice might be, am I going to vacuum first or am I going to dust first?
Well, and
Right?
I
Like,
think that's the difference between, like you said, these two lines below. I can see both sides of the spectrum, even same with emotion and logic. I do it there too, which is why I feel like I tend to attract really supportive people in my life because, or at least I do now, because I am so fair in my approaches to everything as much as
yeah.
possible.
And kind would be another way that it would show up.
For sure. Yeah.
Um,
I try
and
not to make a habit out of being an asshole.
yeah, that's good news, right? That's a
Yeah, for sure.
maturity. And I don't see this line very often, the one that comes off the headline and goes up to the Mercury finger.
Okay.
I mean, the Mercury, the heart line. So under Mercury. So one of the other things about this is also being very attracted to people who are good communicators.
Oh God, it's such a turn on girl. I'm
Yes.
telling you, it is. I am. I am very attracted to people that understand the the depth of my communication style for sure. The uh I guess even just being um stimulated intellectually by the people around me. It is definitely something I'm attracted to.
You're going to attract people. You're going to be attracted to people who are mentally stimulating for you.
100%. Yeah.
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 So you just
If you
can't
can't
help it.
stimulate my mind, I don't think we're ever going to get along.
Right. It
Yeah.
would be boring.
Yeah. And I definitely don't do well with boring.
No, you do not.
I do not.
And your headline's long enough. I mean, sometimes some people, come on, mouse, you can do this. I know you can. For some reason, my mouse is acting
Come
very,
on, mouse. We're rooting for you.
I was, all right, here we go. I'm going to get it to go where I want it. And for some people, their headline goes, which yours does not, all the way to the edge of the hand,
Okay.
which is an over the top amount of mental stimulation.
Oh no, I would hate that.
Yeah, well, you have enough with the Mercury mate selector. So you're going to be mate, meaning good friends or people you date. You're going to be very attracted to people who are mentally able to keep up with you and stimulate you in ways that are interesting to you. Now, the challenging side with the Mercury mate selector is at the beginning of a relationship, you may give up a lot of power to the other person or make them more important than you until you realize that you actually have all of this skill set yourself. You may have done this when you were younger. You actually have all of this design to be very mentally stimulating, and that you don't need the other person to, you don't need to put them on a pedestal.
Ah, got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you might do that at the
Okay.
beginning of a relationship.
Yeah,
And
so here's where I can't really give much feedback, unfortunately. Um, so I've been single for like 11 years.
okay.
And I'd only in the last maybe 2 years tried to start dating, but like nothing that's really um uh got legs on it. I'll just say that. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I'm so out of practice that I don't even know what's happening right now. But um and then the last 6 years of that was like not just like super celibate life, not dating, not doing anything. Um so I don't really know between my old version and my new
Right.
version how I would show up in a relationship now. I don't know.
But this would also be with close girlfriends
Okay. Okay. So like
or
it doesn't have to be romantic type. It can
no.
be
No,
okay.
people that are people you have an intimate connection with, which can be close girlfriend. You may have more intimacy with close girlfriends and communication than you would a boyfriend, you
God,
know?
I'm sitting here thinking about like when you say that, I'm thinking about like my bestest friends, like my bestest buddies. And I'm like, I don't think I give them more importance in the beginning.
You might have at the beginning, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
At the
okay.
beginning, until you realize that it's you're just making that up and they're not really more than you are.
Huh.
You have this line, you
Yeah,
have to be
I'll have to
mentally.
sit with that and see how it feels because I don't really
Yeah,
know right now. Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, I'll have to sit with that one.
Yeah.
I'll at least like put a pin in it and like as I develop new connections, like watch for it. Like, am I doing this thing?
Yeah.
Like, it's something I can at least be mindful of and see if it stands out to me later.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there is an attraction
Hmm.
to people who are mentally stimulating and who think things through and who can articulate, who are very articulate also would be another thing that would be attractive to you.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would agree with that. That was fun.
Good.
Yeah, that was fun. So here's what I loved about that too, just because like just that one last piece that we just talked about. If I don't necessarily know where it fits, it doesn't mean it doesn't fit. It just means, oh, here's something that I might need to look for or be aware of to see where it might fit, or maybe it's something I've already transmuted to. I don't know. But
Right.
I like that because it doesn't mean it's not effective or happening in your life. It just means that maybe I haven't been aware of it, or maybe I haven't caught on to that yet, and it hasn't stood out yet. So I like that. I like that it still shines
Yeah.
like a spotlight on some things that I can consider.
Yeah. And you just may notice if you're like connecting with new people and having them on your podcast and how much do you put them on a pedestal with their knowledge and wisdom. And, like for me, you don't know a lot about hands. And so of course, I'm going to be the expert, right? I mean, because
Yeah,
I am the expert.
you are the
I'm
expert,
not
right?
making that up. I am the
Right,
expert.
right.
And
Actually, as you said that, it just hit me. There may have been some of that undermining my psychic medium stuff.
mm,
um, because I had felt like I think there was a time where I just felt like because I wasn't at a certain level, maybe it diminished my my ability to do it, or maybe it made it look less effective. But then when I work with clients, I'm like, I don't know why I doubt myself. Like, I'm such a fucking badass at this.
Right.
So it's like I need those reminders too. So maybe
Right.
that's what you're talking about. Because
Yeah.
that one I go, oh yeah, I can own that one for sure. Like that one I
Yeah.
can own. Because there's definitely been those times where I'm like, oh well, because I haven't been doing it at this capacity or whatever, maybe it's really just not for me. But then I work with clients that are like, how the fuck did you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I do this. So
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for that reminder. So yeah, I could own it there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because that would be a mental construct, something that you were, your thoughts,
Yeah.
your skill set or somebody else's skill set or somebody else's better or whatever. I mean, whatever we make up.
Yeah, like whatever intrusive bullshit we decide. Yeah,
Yes.
but when you said it that way, and then I was like, oh yeah, oh actually I can own it right here. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that made
Yeah.
sense. Cool. Awesome. Now we
Yeah.
know where it fits.
Right. We
Yeah,
do.
that makes so much sense.
So do you have any other questions that came up?
Yes, I was going to ask if you had, um, if someone was new to looking at hand analysis, is there anything that you could share with our audience about like what they might look for or look for on their hands, or like how could they embrace their own unique blueprint if they're just trying to like understand more about this, I guess.
On my website, I have a blog.
Oh, perfect.
And I have a lot of information about the major hand markings. I have information about fingerprints and gift markings and heart lines, which are the
Awesome.
things. And of course, I have a ton of products. I mean, a ton of
Nice. Oh,
products in
and
my store.
17 books, we might add.
Yeah, all of
Yeah.
them are not up on my website right now because I'm in process of updating my website, but I've created a lot of audios. I have a lot of books, and I printed books as well as a lot of ebooks that are easy to download. And yeah, and my blog it's got a lot of stuff in it. And I have a newsletter that I send out every Sunday,
Okay.
pretty much. I was at a wedding over the weekend, so I didn't send one Sunday, but pretty much that I've been doing for 15 years. And I often talk about hand markings with handprint examples.
Oh, yeah.
So signing up for my newsletter is another way to be getting information about hands.
And classes, you teach the
And
classes
classes.
too.
And that's where
Okay.
I announce the classes that I teach
Okay.
is in my
Yes.
newsletter.
Awesome. Okay. So I will be sharing all that in the show notes, but I better stop it here. So thank you so much.
Okay,
I had fun. This was definitely fun and different. There's
definitely.
definitely a lot to take in, but I'm excited to learn more. I'm actually going to look into your classes too, because I think that would just be fun.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
but thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. Bye, y'all. Okay. Thank you for joining Own Your Essence. I am beyond grateful to our guests for sharing their wisdom and to you, our listeners, for being part of this journey toward healing and empowerment. If today's conversation resonated with you, please feel free to subscribe, leave a review, and share this space with others who might need it. If you have questions, topic ideas, want to be a guest, or would like to work with me privately, send an email. I'd love to hear from you.